The story of ReZero is a dense one, full of interesting locations, people, creatures and cultures. During this first video, which will be part of a larger series covering different aspects from the anime series, we will delve fully into the first ever world map of ReZero, created by Daniel Musgrave and myself. His YouTube channel is in the description box below. This world map was created based entirely upon evidence found within all of the source material available as of the date of this video being uploaded. Throughout this video I will avoid any and all spoilers from outside of the anime. However, this video may contain minor spoilers for those who haven't yet watched up to episode 16, and any information given from the wiki pages and short stories from the author will have been edited to ensure a spoiler-free experience for you, the viewer. Finally, allow me to add that the only extra element to this map was that of 3 port towns which were added due to the source material stating that Prestella, which you'll hear about soon, was used as a trading post between Lagunica and the country of Kararagi in the east. So we figured it's also likely that Gustico, the country in the north, would trade with these two, but also with the Wallachia Empire in the south. So to begin, let's start in the country that almost all of the source material is directly related to, Lagunica. The story begins at the capital city. This is where Subaru first wakes up. It's a huge city with a population of around 300,000, and it's home to the seat of power, the castle where the royal family would normally rule the lands from. However, it also has a poorer side, with us getting a first-hand look at the slums in the first few episodes of the series. The next location we're heading to is north of the capital city, Roswell's mansion. This is where we are first introduced to Rem and her sister Ram, Beatrice and the powerful mage whose dominion and mansion it belongs to, Roswell Mathers. The mansion is just a short distance to a nearby village by the name of Arlem, which is also under Roswell's protection. This is where Subaru then goes on to meet and befriend the village people and its children. There's also a nearby forest as seen here, where the children are kidnapped and taken to but later rescued. However, this forest doesn't have a name in the source material. The village has a population of around 300 people, and we also know that the name of the village changes every time a new village head is chosen. Next on the tour is the road that leads from the capital city to Roswell's mansion. It's the one Rem and Subaru are forced to take after hearing that the white whale has been spotted along the shorter route. On this longer road we briefly visit the village of Fleur, where Rem then later departs without Subaru to the mansion on her own. We know nothing more about this village other than that it contained an inn and probably has a small population. Now we move on to the shorter road leading towards the Great Flugel tree, a tree said to have been planted by the great sage Flugel. This is all talked about in episode 16. Here we also demonstrated the fog created by the white whale that's sometimes present in the area, attacking merchants and passers-by. We made the whale lightly visible under the fog just here. Then we have a location mentioned during Arc 4, which obviously we won't be talking about in this video as it's further ahead in the source material than the anime. However, I will simply mention it's called Sanctuary and is surrounded by a forest and also comes under Roswell's domain. We now head northwest and we come across one of the 6 major cities, a port city long known amongst merchants due to its location close to the central Tigrasi River called Prestella, but it is also known as the Watergate City. Also, Prestella along with the other 5 locations make up a hexagram shape, but the reason for this we do not yet know. This city will make its appearance in Arc 5 also outside of the anime's Season 1 timeline. Here we get a look at the country as a whole, before we then move south to the country of the Wallachia Empire. In our realization of the world map, we believed that the climate would be warmer in the south, given that we're told that Gustico in the north is a colder country. We learn from the wiki page that this country values strength in its soldiers above all else, so even lower ranking soldiers are strong. Zooming in, we can see what I have named Colosseum City. The reason for my naming it as such is that we learn that Al actually came originally from the south, and that he states in his short story, which can be found translated on Reddit, that he used to be a former gladiator. Then we just added the title of city, as it's likely anywhere that there would be a Colosseum, it's probable that there would also be a larger population. Next we head west along the road to Garkla, the former fortress city which, avoiding spoilers from the wiki page, I will simply say that it was destroyed 15 years prior to Subaru's arrival in the world by a powerful force. It was also known as a popular trading city, given its location on the river. Now we will head further west to the country of Kararagi, which we learned from the wiki is a country located to the west of Lagunica. It also tells us that Kararagi is similar to Japan in various ways, such as speaking a Kansai dialect and also having an architectural style known as Wafu. The unknown city is placed here due to the side story known as If, which tells a story of Rem and Subaru running away here to be together and avoid all of the death and destruction happening in the west. We also stuck down a port city at the north edge of the country that has a shipping lane to the north. This was done at my discretion, knowing that most cities that prosper, whether it's in a fantasy world or real life, tend to have access to water for easy access for boats transporting goods and such. Now in the north, we head from the adjacent port city to the icy country of Gustico, that we learn from the wiki entry is a country located to the north of Lagunica, and as it is located in the north, it is described as being a cold country, and has an extreme disparity in wealth, with child abandonment common among the poor. Finally, we zoom out onto the world map, and as you can see, we made it entirely surrounded by water, and this is known in the source material as being the Great Waterfall. I'm guessing by this is because the people of the world are under an assumption, whether by seeing it for themselves or hearing fables, that at the four edges of the world is a great waterfall, where you will basically fall off if you pass that point. But we hear that there are stories of people claiming to have come from lands further away. Here's the picture in the light novel to illustrate that. So it's likely these four countries are surrounded by water, but are instead part of a much larger yet unknown world. Well guys, there you have it. The entire world map of ReZero made up completely from information gathered from the source material. Now this video took a huge amount of time for us to put together, so I'd like to thank Daniel for creating this stunning map and its visuals, and Sean for providing information on locations. This way I was able to avoid any spoilers that might ruin my genuine honest reaction and review videos for the anime series. Aside from this project, every single video I make is made entirely by myself, and you can help to even out the costs of running this type of channel by pledging just $5 on Patreon, the links for which are below, and help me to create videos like this one and all the other original content I create, as sadly right now what I make from Patreon isn't actually covering the costs of running the channel itself, so any help you can give would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget that you can also hit me up on Twitter and Facebook to chat about ReZero or anything else, and make sure that you're subscribed if you don't want to miss any videos coming soon, especially of my ReZero series, of which this video is the first to come. Thank you all so much for watching and for all of the amazing support. You can easily support me for free just by hitting that like button and by sharing this video with your friends and fans of ReZero on forums and websites such as Reddit. And as always, I have been the Honest Reviewer, you have been awesome, and I will of course see you in the next video. Happy viewing.